So here we are with episode 2 of the Big Fat Tattooed Dad podcast, sitting across the table from a man with many names, all the way back to Jesse Jawbreaker, Bitterbones. Today we're going to call him Jesse Harbison. Dude, I'm really excited that you're here.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. So we've known each other, we've probably known each other like 10 years now.
Yeah, probably at least.
Yeah, because I met you before Carter was born in the mall in South Portland at a shoe store. And, he's 9 now. So, yeah, dude, we've known each other over 10 years at this point.
That's wild.
That's crazy. I definitely want to talk about that, man. I mean, we've been through a lot as friends. You've been through a lot as an individual. You know, I know right now you're working in, Portland's Old Port, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
Pretty recent career change. You also have a bunch of art on the table right now. Let's take it back, man. Your first band, Cell Block 13? 12. Oh, damn it. There was that kid, though, Cell Block 12. So that was before I met you. Yeah, how old were you when you were in that band?
Shit. I was probably like 17 and then maybe even 16. I honestly don't know. It was like 16, 17.
Were you still in high school?
Yeah, but I kind of got in some trouble in high school, so I wasn't actually in high school.
You were high school age, though?
High school age.
What high school were you attending before you were not attending?
Noble High School.
Noble. Where is that?
Berwick, North Berwick, Lebanon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So you were 16, 17 then, and then the band immediately following that, if I'm recalling correctly, was Falling Skyward, right?
Yeah, we basically turned Cell Block 12 into Falling
Oh,
Skyward.
yeah, because you had Will in Cell Block 12, right?
Yeah.
Bethany, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, we had Beth, we had Anthony, myself, Duncan.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but we quickly turned that into Falling Skyward.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Was Dakota in that as well?
He was.
Was he really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so crazy, like, looking back, like, MySpace memories, dude, or Facebook memories, rather, wow, kill me. Because I'll see stuff, like, literally, like, today or yesterday, I saw stuff, it was all of us.
Yeah.
Dan Dunham, too. And we looked like kids, dude.
Yeah.
And I remember, it was the Hawthorne Heights run is what's popping up in memories right now. And I remember, like, seeing photos from those shows and seeing myself and being like, dude, I'm a fat ass.
Yeah, same.
And then, like, that's what I thought of myself then. And then I look at myself now, dude. The name of my podcast is literally Big Fat Tattooed Dad. Like, I've embraced it a little bit, but I'm also a lot fucking bigger than I was back then.
Yeah,
it is crazy. Oh, man. So what kind of time did you spend in Cell Block 12? Like, did you guys, did you hit the road at all? Did you play any shows?
I think we played, like, 2 shows. Like, first show I booked because I didn't know how to get booked, so I just decided to book myself.
Sure.
I didn't have a venue, so I lived next to the lake, and my family had like a season pass at Lake Fernal Shores way back in the day. But I went to them because I was good friends with them, and I was like, hey, I kind of want to put on a concert here. And they're like, oh, sure, yeah, let's do it. So I set up. It was like a bunch of big like metal bands from this area back then, like the Capulet Erotic.
Dude, hell yeah.
The Hour of Chaos, Rebuilding the Ruins, like a bunch of bands, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I had heard like a couple years before that someone had a thing called Blood Bash, and I was like, bro, I'm calling this Blood Bash. This is gonna be sick. Well, we get there, and I didn't know anything about it. There was one outlet.
No.
One outlet.
Sure.
And it was on the lake. So we set everything up through that one outlet. People were playing and getting like zapped on the guitar and shit. And then the cops ended up showing up to that because there was calls that it sounded like pigs were being slaughtered across the water because at the time it was like pig squeals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that, but
no, you answered exactly what I asked.
Yeah, a long time ago.
That's so funny. It's crazy what is acceptable to be played outside and what's not. In my last episode, I actually literally talked about a friend of mine who plays in cover bands. Like throughout COVID, he's been able to keep playing because he's playing at places that have less than 50 people and the band's in the corner, and it's the type of music that everyone enjoys. 70s, 80s rock covers, stuff like that. And he asks me all the time, like, oh, why aren't you playing? Why aren't you playing? It's like, well, dude, my music's offensive,
Yeah.
you know, regardless of what I'm saying. The delivery is offensive, so I can't just park on the side of Congress Street and start, you know, playing my music. But we have across the street behind my house, there's a old man band that plays, and they literally play. They don't play in their garage. They don't play in their basement. They just put all their shit in the field out back and play music. It's the coolest thing ever, especially like when we're having fires in the yard and stuff, because we'll just hear this like, you know, 80s rock band playing. I think it's on Tuesdays, whatever it is, but my neighborhood loves it. They don't care about music at all. You know, we play in here, and they got our yard's, you know, pretty big. You saw it when you pulled in, but the guy in the house over there, he's like, hey, you know, this summer, which was supposed to be a couple months ago, he's like, why don't we do a show for like your band, my band, art, like anybody in the neighborhood that's got a band, why don't we set it up in your yard, like have a show? And I was so down for it. And you know, we've got generators and all the cabs are literally in this room with us. It would just be wheel them out into the yard and play a show. But you know, can't have gatherings of more than, you know, 3 people.
Honestly,
so
yeah.
we didn't do it. But yeah, playing outside definitely has its struggles for sure. So how much longer after that show were you guys known as that name?
Damn, probably. Honestly, that was before we met Duncan. So,
okay. So it was just Beth?
Yeah, and a couple other friends that I had at the time, but
Chris, right?
no, there was who was in it at the time. I think my buddy Zach was in it. My friend Nate was playing drums. My friend Jarek was playing synth and screaming.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was Cell Block 12, and then we started making a little bit different music. Like, I had found a band on MySpace that was very small at the time. They were using auto-tune, and I had never heard that in music like that before,
Sure.
so it just blew my mind. It's actually one of the first bands I ever found that was like small, and then watched them blow up as Icy Stars.
Oh, hell yeah. That was Asking Alexandria for me.
Yeah.
I remember when they had like less than 5,000 friends on MySpace.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we heard that auto tune and we're like, yo, we're gonna start playing breakdowns in auto tune. And then we're looking for someone. I was working in the mall, and my friend, do you remember Brad?
Brad Lee or Brad Vance. Yeah.
So I used to drive him to the mall with me so he could see his girl, and he was like, yeah, my friend like is super talented. You should listen to him. And Duncan had a project called Tornado Skyline,
Which was fucking sick.
Crazy.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's how I found him, and then that's why the name Cell Block 12 changed so fast into Falling Skywarders, because we were doing like something way different.
Yeah.
And I don't know, way more professional, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, Duncan, even then, again, we were kids. I think Duncan was 16 or 17 when I met him.
Crazy.
Didn't even have his license,
Yeah.
and was putting out like polished pieces.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was wild.
It was so easy to feel like a legit band, because, you know, obviously there's a lot of people now that can like Bryce, dude, you know, or who else is Gerard.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
they're doing it out of their homes, and they're fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like Duncan was at the forefront of that wave. You know, like
Absolutely.
he wasn't the only one. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to discredit anybody else, but he was definitely one of the first like really, really good ones in this area, at least, that could do it from his home. You know, he was phenomenal. So I met you. You were already in the band, because I remember I walked in. I don't remember why. Oh, obviously I was looking at shoes, I guess. Yeah. But like I saw you, and I was either listening to like the song on the TV or like something like that. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And you're like, oh, this is my band. You're like, show me on your phone. And I was like, oh, I mean, if you guys ever need it, not knowing that you were the guitar player or that Anthony existed at this point, I was like, oh, if you guys need a guitar player, like, let me know. And you're like, well, I think we need a bass player. And I met Anthony at his school to catch a heist in high school, dude, to catch a ride with him to Duncan's house to practice with you guys, or to meet the rest of the people. And one of the fondest memories, I guess, funniest memories I have of that is on the drive back, Anthony and I were just like shooting the shit or whatever, and he was like, Jesse was telling me about you, and he was telling me like how he met you and everything, and he thought it was really cool that you had prison tattoos. Because my right arm, which is still a mess, but my right arm at the time was way worse.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like, I mean, can I play with you guys? Like, I'll take it. Yeah, and then obviously the rest there was history. We did a lot of stuff. You know, we did less than some, but definitely more than others. You know, as far as time on the road and you know, success. You know, I think we did really well. I obviously was not in the band the whole time. Clint took my spot after I stepped down. I think I was in it for like 2 years.
Probably.
How long of a period do you think that band you were in that band? Because you were in there before me and obviously after me. So before we talk about Liver, like how long did Falling Skyward exist?
That last show, the first show that Clint played, that summer, I think that was like in the spring, and that summer we did a tour, and then as soon as we got home from tour, that was a wrap of that.
Oh, so, really? I guess I didn't realize that. I felt like it went longer than that.
No, we ended right after that. So,
oh, shit.
Yeah, so not too much longer. It was like 6 months, you know?
Yeah. That band was so much fun. I mean, you talk about progression of individuals. Like, look at what we did as a group, you know? Going from, like, doing the Running Man and not really knowing, like how to be popular, you know, or how to have stage presence or how to talk or how to get a room moving to, you know, opening for any time there was any sort of bigger metalcore band in the area. Like, we were there. Yeah. Not only were we there, but we turned rooms. Yeah. You know, and then it went from opening to playing like main support, and then doing short runs with bands that like all of us looked up to, do still look up to. Yeah. You know, that was, and the amount of stuff we put out, like we went from having a couple singles online to like actually having an EP, a physical and digital, and then making money off of it. Oh yeah. Like that was a lot of fun, man. Yeah. And then of course, you know, we all did our own individual things. But what's one of your fondest memories from that band, from Falling Skyward? Man. Doesn't even have to be one. A couple.
Dude, my favorite show that I probably ever played. I mean, there was a couple other ones I played recently that were sick. But looking back was with Icy Stars. Yeah. Because I loved Icy Stars, obviously. And that show was insane, dude. It was like Icy Stars.
Memphis May Fire, Our Last Night.
Yeah, who else? Stick to Your Guns played that. I can't remember. And then there was like 20 locals, dude. Like there was so many local bands. Yeah. And that room was like full beyond capacity.
Dude, do you remember the tiles from the ceiling were caving in because the floor was flexing? Yeah. Like the suction in the room was so aggressive. It was literally destroying the building.
Yeah, it was.
I remember like middle of our set, the two guys that were running that company that put that show on, the younger dude of the two, middle of our set was like at the stage, like, calm the fuck down. And first thing we did was, pick it up, motherfuckers! Like, well, man, let's literally see if we can cave this floor. It was Rocco's, right?
It was Rocco's.
R.I.P.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. It was like, I don't even know how many people were in that room, but it was packed. And my amp actually broke during that set. I played that whole set air guitar, pretty much.
So that happened to you more than once, because that happened at the Sad Cafe once too.
It happened all the time. My shit was always breaking.
But you always bought like new gear.
Yeah.
You know, you always bought like nice gear. You know, which blows my mind that you had so many problems. Because I literally lived right down the street from like all the pawn shops, and I would just grab new gear every day on my way home. Yeah. So I had really nice gear, but I had pre-owned everything. Never had any issues. So
yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened, but like I don't know. We were playing, and it just like cut out, and I was like, oh shit. And I just like turned the volume down, and I was like, all right, we're just gonna pretend. Yeah. And I probably had a little bit better stage presence that night because, you know, I didn't give a shit.
That was such a good time.
So, yeah, I think when we started that show, Dakota DeLisle came and jumped off the stage like as soon as we kicked it off. I think he did like a front flip or some shit. Yeah, that was one of my favorite memories.
That was also the first night we got Duncan to stage dive.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good time.
Yeah, that was fire.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I never felt like such a rock star because it was like all those local bands and then us. Yeah. We seemed like we're part of this package.
People, yeah, I mean, that, reminiscing a little bit too much, but people definitely that night assumed we were. Oh, yeah. Because also we got there late and the only spot for our merch table to go was right next to the door. Mm-hmm. So, that was a really good time. We also did a run with like Jamie's Elsewhere, dude, which I loved.
Yeah.
I mean, that run was not that great, if we're being honest, but
was
like
fun,
one of my
though.
favorite bands, you know.
Yeah,
And to do a run with like Hawthorne Heights, that was fucking crazy.
that was.
I don't
Crazy.
understand how that happened, but
Same. I ended up playing with them again later on in my career in a different band, which was like kind of cool to.
which band?
Friday Night Lights.
Oh yeah, dude! I actually skipped them when I was talking about everything you've done. I forgot about that band, which is weird because I played music with Nate and
Yeah,
Derek.
yeah,
Whoops.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights. That was another killer band, definitely. But after Falling Skyward, it was Leveler, right? And that was you and Duncan, Clint, Tom Bashara. Who am I missing?
First,
I know Dan was in it at first, right?
which one?
Leveler was done. Oh, okay.
No, Tom Bashar was a drummer. Clint played bass. Dev was on guitar.
Oh, that's right.
The fuck else was it? Oh, Mike Piccarello.
Oh, yeah. That band, like my current band, went through some fucking lineup changes though.
Yeah, we went through a
Leveler front to
couple.
back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Another solid band.
I missed that band. I was actually watching a music video for
Didn't you
Leveler
post
the
it?
other day. I probably did.
Yeah, I think you did. I
We were
feel
at
like
the
I saw
shop.
that.
Yeah, we were just like reminiscing on our old bands. I was like, "Yo, you want to know something crazy? Like, I robbed a store in this video."
Yeah,
I
that's
was
right.
like, yeah, it was cool.
That was cool. And then after Leveler, was it Friday Night Lights?
Yeah.
For you?
After Leveler, I thought I was gonna be done with
Yeah.
music for good.
Mhm.
I took a little bit of a break, but it didn't take long.
What did you do in that break though? I mean, you did some pretty interesting shit.
Yeah, I got sober.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like that was huge. So I got sober and then I don't know, just try to change my life around a little bit because I was very angry and negative and violent and all that stuff. So yeah, that changed and then I started selling merch for Friday Night Lights.
No, you also had your own merch company.
I did. I feel like that was during Leveler's time, but maybe it wasn't.
Was it?
I can't remember honestly.
Me either,
But yeah, I did do my own clothing line for a little bit.
Dude, I had the windbreaker,
Yeah,
and I think it was a coffin on the back.
yeah,
And I can't tell you how many times, because I ride motorcycles. I hang around a lot of groups. I can't tell you how many times I had that windbreaker on, and somebody would like question me,
yeah.
like, where the fuck you from? Who is it? And I'm like, no, dude, like.
Yeah.
It might as well say Abercrombie and Fitch. Like, it's just a brand.
Yeah,
Please don't kill
literally.
me. Like, dude, more times than I was comfortable with. I actually had to stop wearing it because that shit kept happening.
That's
And
so
fucking
funny.
Maine too, which
Yeah.
you know, there are some legit MCs in Maine, but yeah, that what was the name of that brand though? Because that shit was sick.
Mine?
Yeah.
We called it AMLA.
Oh, that's right.
But
Yep.
it was Ascended Masters looking apparel.
Mhm.
But yeah, we did make that look kind of sus.
Oh, dude, it's whatever. I loved it. That's why I wore it.
Yeah, it
You
was
know?
a good time, man.
Yeah.
I was good friends with Todd,
Yep.
and it worked out. We sold out of those windbreakers like wicked fast.
Yeah, me and Crystal and Carter have one.
Yeah.
Carter's is way too big. Dude, that kid just started growing into band merch that like I used to have. Like the small Falling Skyward shirt I have, the small Mara shirt that I have, a bunch of other small shirts that like Crystal's bought along the way. Like he's wearing that shit.
That's wild.
That's so crazy.
Dude, speaking of the Falling Skyward shirt, I can't remember when it was, but it was like a couple years ago. Someone sent me a screenshot that someone was trying to sell a Falling Skyward shirt for like $50.
Oh, on eBay?
eBay.
Dude, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, because it had ET on it,
Yeah.
so they thought that they were like making a come up, you know. But yeah,
Someone's got to make money on it.
yeah, that's funny.
I don't know if I didn't. I don't know if you did.
On Falling Skyward?
Yeah.
Hell no. I spent so much money.
Oh, dude. It's crazy. That's actually, so I had Dan here, Dan Patterson, last week, and we were talking about, you know, being in bands. Even right now, like, no one is spending any money as a band. Or, well, we definitely are. You know, people, you're still replacing strings and fucking heads and, you know, paying space rents and all this shit. But, like, the amount of money can be counted with the amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, just think of the amount of time that you put into that shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I'm not saying it was wasted, but it's definitely, it sucks when you look at any project that you put a lot of time into that ends up fading away, you know? And over the course of, 10, 12 years and, 4, 5, 6 different bands, it's massive. I mean, we've spent more time in certain bands and certain projects than we've probably ever spent at any singular career. There's not, I've changed career a number of times. There's not any one career that I've done longer than I've done some form of entertainment,
Same, yeah. I go very far back with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Or how many jobs we've quit.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
how many times we've gotten fired.
Yeah.
Or, anything like that. It's wild. And it's crazy to think that that's an acceptable sacrifice, that definitely has to be some sort of mental health issue.
Honestly, I was actually talking about it the other day. I'm like, bro, I'm literally addicted to being a musician.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've given up so much good shit in my life for it, which has worked out. Like, I love what I do. But
Yeah.
Damn, I gave up a lot. Like, dude, I was living in a car.
I know.
Like, just so I could pay to be in a fucking band and buy gear. And yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw a meme one time that was like, a musician is somebody that puts $5,000 worth of gear into a $500 car to drive 10 hours and make $500 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like, okay, well, actually, you mean drive 5 hours to pay $100
Yeah, exactly.
to play your show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So how much touring did you do with Leveler?
I don't know. We did a couple tours. I know we did like one big summer tour. I think we did like, maybe it was like half of the U.S. or something. It wasn't like a full U.S. tour, but we did that. But then we blew the engine in the van.
Right.
So that cut that short. And then I think we did like a couple other week-long runs.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we're always playing shows.
Yeah.
Like, we're always going out doing weekends.
There was actually, I remember there was a week when our tours crossed paths once.
Yeah.
I was with Mara, and I forget who I was on tour with. And I don't remember who you guys were on tour with either. But either way, both the packages hit the same venue at the same night.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of cool. That shit doesn't always happen. Especially it was at the Sad Cafe.
Was that with oh man, who the fuck was that band?
With you or with us?
That we ended up playing the same show?
Yeah.
I feel like
It was like the bigger bands were like Phineas.
Yeah, okay.
And shit, it was a bunch of bands from that Christian label. And there was one band that was like, they were all South American, and they would put like congos and shit in the middle of their breakdowns.
Oh shit, I
don't remember
kind
who that
of
was.
remember that.
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I'm remembering. But Phineas was there.
Yeah,
they
Phineas
were fucking
was
nasty.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom got up on the speaker and jumped off
Yeah.
for like 4 people.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
We were out with Deception Theory from New York.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird. There's so many like dudes in Maine now that are like really like still really good like internet friends with them. Like David Ware is still like super close with all of them because of obviously of photography. David takes amazing photos. And like I think Apollo ended up like designing a bunch of their merch for them from that point. It was cool. And they never even played in Maine. It was just they're on tour with a Maine band. And there was a couple people from Maine at the New Hampshire show when it came back around.
Yeah, I briefly remember that time period. I was pretty lost at that moment. So,
I mean, what was that like? I mean, there's been plenty of shows, memories in general, but definitely plenty of shows that I've lost to alcohol. But for the most part, like I remember more than I've forgotten. I definitely. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm more curious, like, how was that for you? I mean, you spend a long time on the road. A lot of things, like you're saying, tend to just kind of turn into one memory or like one kind of not convulsed, but like convoluted memory. I mean, do you feel like alcoholism made it worse for you?
Oh yeah, a lot of shit like people have to like remind me of.
Yeah.
Like they have to remind me of my own memories.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. We did do that. That was crazy. Or like sometimes like people will like tell me a story and be like, yo, this was a crazy night that we had. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking no idea, dude.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw something the other day that, not the other day, it was like 6 months ago. That's definitely a symptom of what we're talking about, though, is everything was the other day. It was 7 years ago.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Yeah. But I saw something, I think it was like 6 months ago, and it was talking about the inability to remember things, you know, with certain mental disorders or certain mental health issues. And I was like, that's just fucking every millennial. Like, none of us remember anything because we're all sad and drink too much caffeine and don't stay in one place long enough to remember anything. And then like, people kept commenting on it, and they're like, no, it's true. Like, for whatever reason, disassimilating or disassociating, you lose a lot of what's going on when you're in that state because it's your brain protecting you, and you're not just losing the bad things, you're losing the good memories too, the stuff that you would want to remember. And then I thought about it, and I was like, people have told me that I have a bad memory since I was like fucking 14 years old. Mm-hmm. And then, this sounds awful, but like I remember Carter very well, him growing up very well. I literally have almost zero memory of Rowan, you know, which is you know, he's 4. And then but then I also try to think about, do I remember Carter during the last 4 years either? And it definitely turned a switch on for me. Like, you know, having mental health issues mixed with alcoholism, mixed with substance abuse, like, even if you take mental health out of it, those two things alone, you're going to lose memories. You're going to black out. Oh, yeah. You know, those are real things. But I'm not the type of person that drinks till they black out every night. You know, I probably do that once a month, admittedly. You know, but just the fact that I've had so many screws loose for so long, it's true. Like, mental health affects your memory, and it's not even because, you know, you're too lazy to remember or whatever. Like, there's years and years and years of my life that I just straight up can't remember because I spent so long not trying to take care of my mental health. Yeah, you know, I saw therapists when I was younger because I had to, or, you know, when I was living with the state, it was mandated by the state or by the court or whatever. And at the time, it was always like, this is something I have to do to not, you know, be in jail or in juvie or whatever. And then, so when I was old enough to where they couldn't mandate it anymore, I just stopped going. And, you know, only recently I've realized, like, you're fucking losing a lot of your life. One, just being a couch potato or being depressed or you know, not being motivated enough to do things, but two, like, your brain literally isn't creating the memories of the things that you're experiencing. Yeah. As a musician, that sucks because we do so much cool, exciting shit. But as a dad, dude, like, it's really hard for me now. When it was happening, it wasn't hard because I wasn't realizing it. You know, but here we are, years later. You know, the rest of my family is telling me about all these things that I did with my family, with my kids, that I don't remember because I wasn't doing anything to try to maintain my brain power. You know, and it wasn't until pretty recently that I have, which sucks. I definitely went on a tangent on this one, but if you're watching this and these symptoms feel familiar, like, do something about it now because you're only going to continue to lose things.
Yeah, for real. It's good that you at least, like, recognize that now, you know.
Yeah, I wish I'd recognized it a long time ago. Yeah. But if I did, would I be a musician? You know?
True.
It's tough to say.
That's hard.
So you got sober after Leveler.
After Leveler.
What were you doing for work during that time?
I was working at a restaurant.
Locally?
Yeah, at Moe's Barbecue.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah.
See?
Yes. Yeah,
I did know that. I definitely knew that because I had my birthday there with you one year.
Oh, dude, that's how I got that job.
Oh, you serious?
That night, yeah. We went there, and we had a whole bunch of people there, and the dude that owned all of the Moe's.
Dewey?
No, the dude that owns all of them.
Oh.
He was there with Dewey, and they... I think they sent over like a pitcher of beer or something like that and a bunch of wings and shit. So yeah, man, I don't know where I was going with that, but I was working at Moe's Barbecue at the time of getting sober.
Wearing your special order gloves?
No. Yeah, big ass hands.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, where are you going with that? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They did have to buy me extra big hands, bro.
So you were working at Moe's. You were still in Maine. Do you remember where you were living at that time?
Yep. I had an apartment in Saco on the river.
Oh yeah, that place was beautiful.
Yeah, it was wicked nice.
Who were you living there with?
Sophia.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we were living there, and yeah, it was actually kind of hard to.
Dude, I think I know where you're going. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, it was like working in a restaurant and being around, like, at a bar every single day was like.
Not only that,
That
but
was hard.
I remember, because I've never really had a bout of sobriety. Like, I'm just not interested. And Sophia drank,
Oh yeah.
and I remember visiting you, like hanging out and shit. And I was there, Crystal was there, Sophia's there. We're all drinking, and I think it was before. This sounds awful. I don't know how else to word it, but it was before like I respected your decision.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we were kids. You know.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
And I was like, "Oh, Jesse, come on, man, just have a drink. Just have one. Oh, man, I'm sober. You can have one drink." And no, like I can't. And it took me a long time to realize that like you were fucking serious. You know, this wasn't just like a Jesse thing. You know, because you have plenty of things. You get interested in something and you pursue it until you're no longer interested in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I looked back that many years from now, I would have just assumed that's what it was. But here we are years later, and you're still clean living, and you've done more than just sobriety. I mean, you've cleaned up how you eat.
Oh yeah.
Because did you go straight to vegan or were you vegetarian
I
first?
went straight vegan.
You did. Oh wow, damn.
Which was crazy because I smoked meat as a job,
yeah,
which was like fucked.
yeah.
But like I used to like talk shit about people who were like vegan. I'd be like, "Oh, you're fucking stupid. Like, why are you at a barbecue restaurant?" And I'd like cut the skin off of a turkey and like fucking carve a face into it and hold up to my face like, "Oh, vegans." And now I'm like hardcore vegan.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, things change, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Has that? Do you feel like that's affected your health physically? Like, do you feel cleaner?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, for the most part, I also have found every vegan cheat thing that you can have. Like Oreos are vegan.
No doubt.
Dude, I'll put down a whole fucking family
With the
pack
fork?
of Oreos.
The fork for the milk?
What a fork?
Get out of here,
No, I never seen.
dude. You dip your milk in, or your cookies in milk. You probably don't actually, because milk's not vegan, right?
Right, but there's so many.
Like silk and shit like that. Or
Yeah, yeah. There's all kinds of shit.
So currently, do you dip your Oreos in something?
Nah.
You eat them dry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I also enjoy Oreos. I also enjoy whole milk, red cap.
Yeah.
You take the fork and you slide it between the two cookies into the cream, and you just push down a little bit so it doesn't fall apart, and you dip the whole fucking cookie into the milk, dude. You pull that fork out, the cookie's still on there. The whole thing has been milked, and you just right off the fork.
I'm confused. Like, when do you stick the fork in?
When you take the cookie out of the package.
When they break?
Okay, so cookie.
Oh shit!
The cream is here.
Okay. I see where
The
you're
fork
going
goes
with this.
between the two
Yeah,
cookies.
Okay.
Yeah, not to the
I was
side.
like, what the fuck? It's gonna break.
Yeah. No, dude. It works. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Right through the center, man.
Yeah, that's-
Spirit.
That sounds like it sucks. Like, I want to eat a whole Oreo in one bite,
Yeah.
not in like 6.
Right.
You know? It's funny.
Oh man, I also love that Oreo cereal.
Yeah, I like everything Oreo.
Yeah.
Ben and Jerry's, peanut butter and Oreo.
Is that vegan?
I get dairy free. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Honestly, you probably wouldn't know the difference
No.
with that.
Yeah.
A lot of things you'll know the difference, but that one is pretty fucking spot on.
No doubt.
And Dino Nuggets.
Dino Nuggets are vegan?
They just made
Oh,
vegan ones.
I gotcha.
Dude, they're so real that the first time I ate them, I spit it out because I was like, I got the wrong one. I had to look.
Couldn't
at the
believe it.
package. And it's like crazy cheap. It's like $5 for like 30 nuggets.
No shit. Nice push. All right, so you got sober, you went vegan, you were living at the Mills, right? That's what it was called?
Yeah, something like
Something like that,
I
yeah.
can't remember.
In Saco. So when did you decide that you wanted to get back into performing? Because the merch was with Leveler, you're at a Leveler, you're getting sober. We have another project coming up in the timeline, and it's a lot different than. I guess it's really not that much different. I guess it was kind of a natural progression for you because you always played acoustic, you always wrote your own songs.
Right.
The way you sing your Bitter Bones music is in my opinion very similar to how you used to sing like your acoustic songs.
Yeah, it
So
is.
now that I kind of put the pieces together, it's sort of a natural progression. But when did you decide that you're like, okay, I'm going to do hip hop now?
With hip hop,
Or I mean, do you consider Bitter Bones hip hop, or what do you?
It falls under that
Sure.
category. For the last tour, Duncan and I used the term like dark pop because it's more pop than anything.
Dude, the person I was talking about earlier that's got the cover bands that I work with, called Duncan's music "Sad in Sync" because he showed it to him.
Yo, that's a huge compliment.
Yeah,
to,
that's what I said, man.
to
Yeah,
everyone who makes that kind of music. Yeah, that's sick. That's a good one.
yeah.
But hip hop was actually the first thing I did musically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so growing up, since I was in 5th grade, I've rapped.
Yeah.
In like 7th grade, I got like good at rapping, and I was like known in my school as the rapper kid.
No shit.
I was like super like gangster. It was funny, but going into high school, everyone knew me as the kid that rapped, and I looked the part. I acted the part, and then it wasn't until I got in trouble and left high school that I started doing that. But I have or had songs from when I was like 14, 15, 16 that I recorded with Beth or by myself.
Yeah.
I had those songs, and actually one of the songs on my EP, Fly Away, was actually a song that I wrote when I was 15 or 16, and we just re-recorded it.
No shit.
So it's like that was the first thing I actually did, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know that.
No, I didn't know that, and I feel like I'd be one of the ones that would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I probably like when we were partying back in the day, I probably played some rap songs that I made when I was younger.
That's definitely possible.
Yeah, probably. But I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so you were doing hip hop in high school, so I guess it wasn't really like you decided to, but it kind of came full circle.
Yeah.
So,
No,
but at some point you still had to decide, like, I'm gonna produce this. I'm gonna put time and money back into this.
Mm-hmm.
What sparked that?
Honestly, dude, I had taken a bunch of time off from music, and I had just gone through a breakup, and I was like super bummed about it, and yeah, I didn't know what to do. I wanted to play music. I didn't want to do the band thing again. I went to New York City, and I tried out for a band, and I like all those dudes. It was really great time hanging out with them, but I was like, man, I just can't do the band thing anymore. Yeah. So I decided to just do it, and then I think at that time, I remember actually the specific moment. I knew I wanted to do that. I went and saw my buddy's band Broadside play a show. Mm-hmm. And while I was there, I had seen this guy come out on stage with a couple other dudes, and he starts singing and he starts rapping. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, it sounded like nothing I'd ever heard before. The artist was Nothing Nowhere.
Oh, no shit.
I saw that, and then that changed things for me. And I think Post Malone's I Fall Apart song was like popping off. And I was like, I used to sing that shit a bunch, like driving in the car or whatever. So, yeah, I think a little mix of all that. I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm going to try and write a song. And then I went to the studio, and I had already written a song on the acoustic, and I brought it in there to make it a song. And it was just like, when I left, I was like, yo, that was fucking fire.
Yeah.
Like, this is sick. And I showed it to a couple people, and they were like, dude, I didn't even know you could sing. Like, and I was like, all right, let's fucking go. Like, I got a lot of experience from when I was a kid
for the rest of your life.
All the touring stuff. And yeah, I was just like, dude, I could actually fucking do this. So I tried, and I put out that one song, and it popped off pretty good.
Yep.
And then from there on out, I was just like, well, I'm already out there. So, and now I'm a solo artist. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
Like, in 5 years from now, I could put out a country song if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And no one's going to tell me I can't.
Right.
So, Bitter Bones can just grow with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool.
I love that. I love that. even if you never do put out a country song, just the fact that you're, you know, even talking that way, because artist progression, I think, is something that's lost in genres.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone's like, well, you know, if you're going to be in this band, you're going to be in this genre, like, you have to keep putting out music that sounds this way. And then it causes bands to, like, break up or members to leave to do things. And, you know, the older I get, the more that bugs me. And I'll give you an example of a band breaking up for no reason. Like, Mara, and it's an example because it's my band. There's 100 bands that have done this. But Mara never had to break up. Like, it never had to be Heathens. And honestly, we didn't change the music that much. And, you know, the band that I'm in is a lot slower than they probably could be because I'm in it and I have a career, I have children, you know, it's not my primary focus. But like, you know, we're not breaking up just because we're not going to play music for a year, you know. And a really good example of a band that has not adopted that thought process is Too Late the Hero.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they've been a band for 15, 16, 17 years.
Yeah.
That might be too long. It might be closer to 14, but whatever. Whether or not they're putting out a ton of music and playing a ton of shows or they're doing nothing, like, you don't see them talking about breaking up.
Right.
You know, and they came out of, they came out for that show at Aura. You know, they probably hadn't played a show before that in like 9 months. And I don't think I've seen them play since then. But they will. You know, next time there's a calling and it makes sense, they'll do it. You know, and they all have careers and kids. Like Kevin is, you know, probably one of the most underrated producers in the country right now. You know, he puts out really good stuff, and he does it across multiple genres.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on award-winning albums that, you know, we know about because, like, that's our boy. Like, he's in the scene, like, we know him. But I feel like like his name should be just as popular as Will Putney, and all Will Putney does is metalcore, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I'm super glad that they never like threw in the towel. You know, no matter what they're doing, like they see that there's no point in that.
Yeah,
they'll play when it's time, then they won't when it's not. You know.
Yeah, which I love because that band is like the reason I was playing shows. In a band.
Yeah.
You know, I was a huge fan of them before I even like really knew how to play guitar.
Right.
So I used to go to their shows, and it's cool to see them still killing it.
Yeah.
When they do, you know.
Yeah, they've outlived a lot of change in the local scene, the national scene.
Outlived like every fucking band.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's not a band locally that I've seen them play with that's still together, I don't think. You know, I mean,
I really don't know.
I can't think of one, personally. Maybe Rustic, if they've ever played a show with them, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Rustic's been around for a while, too.
Yeah.
But, So, that's when you decided you were going to do it. You went into the studio, got your song cut, put it out there, it popped off. How much space was there between your first song and your first EP?
It was a while.
Yeah.
Because I recorded that song and then I put it out like, I don't even know how long. It was like probably like 6 or 8 months after I recorded it. I put it out. And then I didn't put out my EP until last year. So it was probably like 2 years.
Was it that long?
Probably something like that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What's the name of your EP?
Lost Soul.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot for a second.
Where can we find it?
Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much anywhere.
Did you just post it? Oh, go ahead.
It's actually not called Lost Soul.
Okay.
Hellbent.
Hellbent.
Fucking
Is Lost. Did you just name drop the name of your next EP? Is that what happened?
No. That's the last song.
Gotcha.
I got that shit tattooed on me though.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. I got
Where?
It, on my leg.
Gotcha.
Yeah. When I was on tour, the last tour, the dude that owns the record label that I'm part of, he has a tattoo shop.
That's killer.
So I went down there and I like really liked that dude's music.
Yeah.
So I was like super hyped that I was signed to his label.
Who is it?
He was in the band Less Than Jake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a drummer, Vinny.
Yep.
But yeah, he had said something about tattoos, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I want a tattoo, but like, I don't know what to get." And then I was like, "Man, well, I like the Lost Soul." And the record label is called Lost Music Collective.
Yep.
So I was like, lost. I was like, all right. And then the management company that I'm a part of it's Word is Bond, and their little logo is a planchette.
Oh no shit.
So I was like, I'm just gonna get a planchette with the Lost Soul.
Multi-divisive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the only tattoos I have that actually means something. So.
Yeah, I have none of those. Dude, I've got so many tattoos, and
Yeah.
I'm like running out of space too. And now I'm at the age where like I want to get tattooed, but I don't want more meaningless shit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, what am I gonna get put on me?
Anything.
Yeah, my dad said the funniest shit about tattoos one time. This was a while ago. This is probably like, I don't know. I was probably like 10 tattoos deep at this point, and he fucking hates it, And he doesn't like sit there and like say, "Oh, I fucking hate your tattoos," but he's just like, I'll be like, "Dad, I got a tattoo." He's like, "Go outside." You know what I mean? Like, get out of my house. I'll be out in a minute. But one day I was like, "Why do you hate tattoos?" And he's like, "Well, I'm a fucking boomer." That's not what he said, but
Yeah, pretty much.
in more words than that, that's what he said. When he was our age, it was military, sailors, bikers, bad motherfuckers only. And he's like, so I just never got one. And he's like, plus I don't think there's anything that meaningful in my life that I'd put on my skin. Nothing's forever. I was like, dude, you just said that to your son, and you've got 4 more.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious?
That's funny.
Yeah, oh my god. But I mean, that's such a boomer thing to say. Like, I don't want my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh man. So, took you about 2 years to put out the EP between your first song, or 2 years between your first song and your EP. What were you doing in that time to like cultivate a following? Were you playing shows? Were you touring? I mean, obviously your social media game was strong. We all know that. But like, what else were you doing with your time?
At that time, after I put out All Okay, I decided actually to pack up my shit and move out west.
Where?
I moved to right around Phoenix,
Sure.
Arizona, Glendale, Avondale.
Yep.
But I moved out there with my friend Charlene.
Mm-hmm.
Lived there for a little bit, and I thought that location was gonna make the most sense for me. Obviously, I wanted to live with my friend and all that shit.
Warmer weather.
In the weather for, other reasons.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, I'm in Arizona, so I got Phoenix that I can play shows, and then I got Vegas, it's not far. I got LA, it's not far. Colorado's not super far. Texas isn't awfully far. I mean, it's still like fucking 16 hours away, but it's like not like
3 days.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. Like, this is a sick location. And I was like, bro, I'm in the fucking desert. Like, I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, so.
I mean, your social media went off when you were out there, though. I mean, you posted a lot of cool photos. It seems like you saw a lot of cool shit. You
Yeah,
you did a lot of cool shit with Charlene.
Yeah.
You obviously, were a big influence on Dexter.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I mean, I met a lot of awesome people. One of the dudes that is on the next song that I'm about to release, I met him in Arizona. He's from Arizona. So, I mean, I made a lot of good friends there. I met Juvenile. Like,
That's really cool.
yeah, I used to just like hang out in Scottsdale and go to the clubs and shit. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, it was cool as hell, but it wasn't what I wanted. And I went, I ended up going to LA to hang out with a couple like industry friends that I had.
Yep.
I went there for a weekend, and as soon as I got into Hollywood, I was like, dude, I gotta live here.
Yeah.
And one of the dudes that was at the event that I was at told me, he's like, yo, if you come here, like, I got a spot, like, you can crash with me in Beverly Hills.
90210.
And I was like, all right, shit. And then I went back, and then I didn't take it up. I was like, man, I can't, like, leave Charlene and Dexter and all that shit.
Yeah.
I don't have any money. And then I think it was one payday happened. I had, like, $200 extra. I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to go to LA. So I had $200. I sent it to LA. And I was like, I'm just going to live in my car. And then as soon as I got there, one of my friends ended up letting me like stay with him because I was there. And I think I only slept in my car like 1 or 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I got in with him, I was like, all right, shit, well, I got a place to stay. I need a job. I went on Craigslist, got a job that day. And I was like, damn, it's like meant for me to be here. And then, you know, I met a lot of people. I spent a lot of time in Hollywood. Yeah, I would go out to like events that were going on, passing out shit, go hang out and like up in the hills and shit and just like feel like I was fucking famous, you know? And yeah, I just stayed busy like promoting myself, and then I put another song out when I got to LA, I think, and then yeah.
Now, as far as like analytics, because I'm sure you watch all that stuff on your YouTube and Spotify and all that, has being an artist that's gained a following coast to on both coasts, like do you see that spike on the demographic map like when you're watching it? Do you feel like your time spent there like created an anchor?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I feel like some cities that I have like a pretty good following in just happen to be musical cities.
Sure.
Like I got a pretty solid following in LA. But I really didn't meet that many people when I was in LA.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I met a lot of people, you know, and I promoted myself super heavy. And
Yeah.
I tagged Hollywood in all of my fucking posts and shit. Did a lot of sponsored stuff, but I don't feel like I really had made that big of a anchor there. But that's definitely like one of my top cities. So,
I mean, of course, with COVID, you know, it's become virtually impossible to continue to shake hands and hand out flyers and stuff.
yeah.
You know, so you're definitely anchored here for a while. If by nothing else, then certainly by that. Do you have plans, you know, after, you know, there's herd immunity or additional vaccinations or whatever? Like, do you plan to go back out there, or is there another part of the country that you're going to try to nail for a little bit? Or I mean, are you just gonna try and let the internet take it over for you?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what the internet can do for me.
Yeah.
I had 3 tours that were in the works, 3 or 4 for this year.
Yeah.
That all got canceled. So I was going to be on the road all the year.
Yeah.
Like all fucking year. And I was going to be going out with like some really cool people. So, you know, but that happened. And
Yeah, dude, it's affected a lot of people in a lot of ways. You know, luckily, I was explaining this to you earlier. Like my my position specifically at my job is primarily internet based. So, you know, I can deliver a product to somebody that it's just in their driveway.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they never have to shake a hand or even be close to somebody, whatever. You know, electronic signatures, all that shit. So I never financially, I did not suffer through this at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends did. You know, a lot of our friends work in the service industry, you know, live performance industry, everything like that. And obviously, if there's nobody filling the seat, then there's no demand for that personnel. And you know, one of the things that like Dan and I were talking about last week was, you know, this our culture as a country is, you know, huge, and music, no matter how big it is to you and I, it's you know, it's 10% of our culture, you know, as far as like business. And you think, if you break it down from the top, so say you've got a musician and he tours, and say that's like his primary income. So you take touring away, that income's gone. Anyone off tour has off tour jobs, you know, Uber, barback, waiter, whatever, all of that's gone. You have no, you know, you're 1099, so you don't even have any money on the book to be able to file, you know, unemployment or for any, or, you know, for any assistance from really any entity at that point, you know, and it goes even deeper. It's like there's no one creating flyers. There's no one creating the fucking lanyards to hand on your keychains. And that dude works from home anyway, but because there's no one out there walking around with lanyards on, there's no one asking that dude to make them. And it's crazy how much it's affected like so many people that we know. which is a big part of why I'm doing this.
Right.
You know, we're 6 feet apart. You know, we're not shaking, hugging, anything like that. Unfortunately, love you.
Yeah.
But you know, there's not 4 or 5 other people for me to organize. Like there's nothing. It's just us and mics, and I've sanitized the mics, and I've sanitized the seats, and yada yada yada. You know, I'm fortunate where like I still have something. Obviously, it's not producing any money. Like if I were a full-time musician and then I had to like immediately jump to a podcast, like financially that wouldn't be, you know, where you'd fall into it. But it just sucks. Like I hate it. You know what I mean? And I'm not like a disbeliever, but I want to be able to do everything that we were doing 9 months ago, but I want it to be safe. You know, like I don't want to do it just to do it. Like I want to do it. Like I want to be able to do it. You know, because it sucks not being able to support friends or play shows or sweat on other people in a pit. You know, like break it down to just that, just somebody sweating on you. Like you can't do that right now because like you could fucking die.
Yeah.
You know, I fucking hate it. I'm so ready for all this to be over, for all this to be back out there. And I've seen a lot of artists trying to cope or come up with creative ideas to continue to be, you know, exposed and on the level and generating some sort of ad revenue at least from like live streams and things of that nature. Yeah. But you know, if you're not huge, like it's not going to do anything for you. You know, like Devil Wears Prada, August Burns Red, like they've done it, they can do it. Yeah. You know, like my homies, like they could do it, but like what is it going to do for them?
Exactly.
You know, and I'm hoping that this platform that I'm creating gets large enough to where, like, you know, if say we're going through this shit for another 6 months, like you can come back in a couple of months because you have a live stream that's going on a month from that time, and we can talk about it, and we can promote it. You know, I don't know if that'll happen or not, but like that, you know, I fucking hope it does. But until then, you know, I want to talk about how I can support my guests. You know. Because if we snap right to 2020, you know, we're almost in 21 at this point. Honestly, by the time this gets released, it probably will be 21. I'm trying to catalog as much as I can before I start releasing. And 21 is only like a month and a half away. But you have started a new profession in Portland with some good friends of ours. So I mean, let's talk about that, man. How did that happen? I feel like a lot of shit that happens with you is so spontaneous.
My whole life is spontaneous as fuck. Yeah. So obviously. Quarantine hit. My roommate is a barber, and you know we had nothing but time, so I was just sitting there chilling, like not doing much of anything because we're quarantined, and I was freaking out. But yeah, long story short, my roommate works at Black Door.
Who's your roommate?
Mark Waller.
Okay. How do you know him?
I don't know how I think I met him once in the Old Port because my friend Robbie is good friends with him.
Yeah.
But then he started dating the girl that I was living with, Chelsea. And then obviously that got serious and he was there all the time, and yeah, that's just how.
He's definitely a solid dude. I love Mark.
Oh my god, yeah,
he's amazing.
Yeah,
he's such a sweetheart.
Yeah. So he was like, "Yo, you should be a barber." I was like, "You think?" He's like, "Yeah, like you could totally do it." And I was like, "You're right. Cool. I'm gonna be a barber." I was like, but like, I mean, if you go deep into it, like. I judge everyone's haircut when they walk by. If your fade's fucked up, like I judge it. I'm not even gonna lie. But so another cool thing about being a barber though is like I get to still be creative and artistic.
Sure.
So I was looking for like when all this hit, I was like, how am I gonna start making money? Like I can't rely on music right now.
Right.
I mean, I can to an extent with merch sales and. You know, Spotify money, shit like that, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can I make money and not hate my fucking job? Well, this way I get to basically just sculpt something into someone's head. I get to draw a picture almost on their head.
Yeah.
So I get to be artistic every single day. The vibe of a barbershop is just unlike most things, dude. It's so fucking fun. So I was like, all right, you're gonna make pretty good money cutting hair.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs a haircut like every couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I could leave and go on tour if I wanted to.
Because you rent your seat, right? It's more of like an independent type thing.
Exactly.
Yep.
So as long as rent is paid, I can do whatever the hell I want. I could take one client if I wanted to. Doesn't matter. Obviously, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But like, I could do that. So I was like, cool. And then they were obviously shut down, and then they were one of the first things to open up because I don't know, people needed a haircut during a fucking pandemic, I guess. I don't know.
If you look at me, dude, I have not had a haircut in a really long time. Yeah. I haven't even shaved my neck. Like since this whole thing happened, I stopped shaving my neck. Like, I don't have like a line anymore. My beard's long enough to like cover it up, but like dude, my neck, dude, and my hair is super long. I dig it though. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm probably never gonna shave or cut my hair again.
Fuck it.
Grow it. Yeah.
But we were like one of the first things to open up during all this shit. So it just goes to show that, it's a good thing to get into because people got to stay looking fresh, and like I want a job that's like a feel good job. Someone sits down looking scrubby, I make them look good, gas them up. They walk out the door smiling, happy. They're going to go on their Instagram all stoked on how they look. Like, that's the kind of shit I want.
Yeah.
Like, I just want something that feels good.
There's definitely plenty of photos of me and my barber, who, again, I haven't seen in a long time, Sam, who he actually just opened his own store in Rockland. I wish I could remember the name. I would say it. But, yeah, I mean, 100%. I don't leave a barbershop without a selfie with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And usually it's a 4-panel, and it's like me and him, and then like 3 more pictures of my haircut. Because, like, that is a feel-good thing.
Yeah, it is.
And dudes spend decent money on it.
Oh yeah.
It's not inexpensive by any means. It's not. It's not expensive. It's worth the money, I should say. You could go to Walmart and look okay for $20, or you could spend $45, $50, $60 to get your hair and beard lined up the right way.
Exactly.
And feel fucking good about it.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge proponent of that. And support local. What's the name of the barbershop?
Black Door Barber Company.
Where is it?
It is on Forest Ave. You know where the Walgreens is?
So there's probably like 38,000 Forest Aves in the U.S. Let's assume somebody from out of state sees this.
Facts. So this is in Portland, Maine.
Okay, Forest Ave, Portland, Maine.
True. It's like it's not downtown. It's like on the way out.
It's above Starbucks, isn't it? Like corner of Free and Congress.
No.
Who was there?
Are you thinking Momentum?
I don't know. Was that above? No, because Momentum was more down towards like Five Guys, like past Five Guys. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's not there though. It's on Forest Ave. You just said that, and I'm thinking. I literally said Free and Congress, so obviously I'm wrong. Forest Ave. Is it over by Cordell's, like where Jake used to tattoo?
Right next to Cordell's.
Yeah. Okay.
Jake.
Wentworth.
It's the same building.
It's above it.
It's above it.
Yes. Okay. Black Door Tattoo.
Yeah.
Black Door Barbershop or Barber Company or Barbershop.
Barber Company.
Got it. And what's the at? What's the social media?
I think it's just Black Door Barber Co.
I think you're right.
I think that's all it is.
And you're there with Curran owns that spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to talk about like people that you looked up to as musicians back in the day, dude? Jules Verne, fucking Adversaries, Curran Candage, dude. Which it sounds weird to fanboy over somebody that's like a year older than you, but when I first saw Jules Verne at the Cave in Bucksport, Maine, dude, a long time ago. It was before I was ever in a band at all. Jules Verne played with the Black Dahlia Murder, and I'll just never forget the show. It was amazing. But I thought, like, I 100%, because Nicky, their singer, looked like Ollie Sykes. He was fit, had the hair, the whole thing, the tightest clothes you could own. He had the look. And then, what was the other guitar player's name? You know him. Big tattooed guy. Used to have huge ears. Now he's a power lifter. I want to say it's Rick, but I don't think that's it. Fuck. Whatever. Actually, it starts with a D. His name starts with a D.
Are you talking about DJ?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
DJ.
Okay, I was thinking someone else.
Oh, word. And then Morgan Smith, dude, was playing drums for them, which, Morgan and I became friends a lot later in life.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know that. Actually,
Did he play drums for them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Jewel, and again, they were like from New York. And the first show I ever played in, the first band I was ever in, it was a made up word. It was Deservation. And I got them to play inside a church in Bangor, Maine. And I'd lived there for like a couple of weeks, started a band, wrote 5 songs. That's an awful way it was the worst band ever. It doesn't matter. But I had Jules Verne, Capulet Erotic, Wolves Among Sleep, Too Late the Hero, Legend Has It, like all these crazy fucking bands in a church. Church PAs are nothing to fuck with, dude. Every church has a nasty PA. Mm-hmm. And I shit you not, I only know how many kids were there because of how much money we made. I made $6,000. I didn't gross that. I paid every band, paid for the church, all that shit. But in Bangor, Maine, dude, we had kids coming from all over New England to see this show. And As Venice Burns was also there. Like just every big band at that time was in New England was playing that show. And that's the first time I actually got to talk to Curran. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. And now look at him. Owns a fucking store.
Yeah,
and he's a dad himself.
Yeah,
and he's tattooed. He's not big and fat though. No.
We'll never be.
No. No, definitely not. So how long have you been there?
So when quarantine was lifted, I went in like May, and there was like crazy like guidelines for us to go by.
Course.
Like we had to have like disposable capes, disposable like ponchos pretty much that we had to wear, gloves, a shield. It's basically a hazmat suit.
Right.
So I would have to go in and make sure everything was sanitized, just sweep the floors, like answer the phones, the shit that they were not going to be able to do because there was so much more, restrictions. So, yeah, I went in there from like May through the summer, and then I went through some things over the summer, so I didn't go in for like a month. But then I decided to apprentice under Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out, because I knew I wanted to be a barber. Didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't really want to spend like $20-something thousand to go to school.
Sure.
I actually got my GED over the summer.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't have a GED.
That's killer.
Yeah, I was like 29 to get my GED, which was like kind of fire. But yeah, so I got the GED because I was thinking about going to school. Mm-hmm. And then Johnny was like, yeah, I'll take you. So now I'm apprenticing under him.
That's so awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. So are you like taking your own people, cutting your own hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
Just started that.
Yeah.
I've done, a few cuts at the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And just starting out with that now. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think one of our first friends, if I remember correctly, that cut hair was Connor Buckets, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I don't know where that kid's at these days.
No idea.
Me either. Yeah, I remember he was like the first homie that cut hair. And nobody went to him. Rude. Cool, man. So where are you living now?
I live in Buxton.
Buxton, no shit.
Yep. Yeah, we were living in Saco, Mark, Chelsea, and I, and they ended up selling the place and getting a new house.
No shit.
So we needed it because it's like, she lives there, her nephew lives there, her mom lives there. There's fucking 4 dogs, 2 cats, a pet pig.
Yeah.
Like there's so many animals.
What kind of pig?
Like an indoor pig.
An indoor pig.
Like a pet pig.
That's awesome. Like a full size one, or?
I mean, they say it's not a full size, but that's a big ass motherfucking pig.
Yeah. Can you pick it up?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. So
he's a big pig.
Oh shit.
He's cool as shit though. But yeah, we live out in Buxton. It's got a big house out there. And
nice. One of my really good friends lives on Dunnell Road, and I guess there's 2 Dunnell Roads, one with 2 L's, one with 1 L.
That's weird as shit.
That is super weird in Buxton. And then one of the other managers I work with works in Buxton. I guess it's like it's a good middle ground. Like it's less expensive, but like close enough to Portland.
Yeah, it's boring as hell out there, but I mean that's kind of why you move there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
So, what was just to kind of circle back around to music for a minute? What was your favorite performance so far as Bitterbones?
I would say, I don't know. There was a couple that were like pretty sick.
I can tell you my favorite.
Which one?
The Hot 104.7 show.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That show was like a dream.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy. There was, 5,600 people there.
Yeah.
The stage was the size of a fucking football field. I don't even know if it was that big, but like.
Literally it is.
It seemed like it was. Yeah, because I got on that stage. I was like, "Bro, I'm gonna run to the other side of that." Like, running around working a stage that big. I'm like, dude, I'm not
wearing all leather or wearing leather and all black.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean that show was crazy, man. DMX. I grew up listening.
Did you get to talk to him?
No, I didn't. I didn't meet him. I saw Lil Tecca out back though.
That's cool.
So, I didn't really talk to him though, but I saw him.
Yeah.
But I didn't see DMX. He showed up a little late, but
typical.
Yeah, but it was cool because my mom used to listen to DMX with me, so like my mom was there, and
yeah,
it was just cool because like I was like on that stage and I signed so many autographs. Like instead of going out back and trying to mingle with the other artists, which most people did, which obviously you'd want to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I just saw it as an opportunity to make fans.
Yeah.
So instead of like mingling with the people out back, I went to the merch table, which we had our own people that sold the merch there. I didn't even have to do that.
Yep.
But I set up a table similar to the one that we have here, and I just put posters and like cards out. And I was standing there, and I was just taking pictures with people and signing autographs because people didn't even know I was from Portland.
Right. Yeah.
So they just thought I was just like some famous fucking rapper there.
It's a really big demographic too at those shows. Like you've got everything from like literally 12-year-olds to 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're all just there to see a show. So you have a whole demographic that's too young to know you, and a whole demographic that's too old to know you.
Oh yeah.
That's I mean, those are the biggest exposure shows. Like that's the shit that you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Like that show was.
That was my favorite. I want to know your favorite.
That one was cool for like clout reasons, I guess, and like it was fucking DMX, so like that was cool. It was like scary as hell though, so it was like, I mean, my knees were fucking shaking on that stage. There was so many people, it's a sea of people, but so I mean that was like really cool for that experience. But my 10-year high school reunion would have been last year. Obviously, I didn't get invited to it because I wasn't there my whole high school career. But I was like, low key, like kind of butthurt. But then I got asked to play for the kids at Noble High School.
Oh, no kidding.
So I went there, and then it was like a fuck you moment because I was like, didn't ask me to come to my 10-year. Instead, I played for the fucking kids. But I played, and those kids, that most of them, that was their first show. They had never been to a concert before.
Mm-hmm.
So they came there, and like when I told the kids to put their lights out, man, everyone had lights out. The whole crowd was singing. I got like videos of me. Like I pulled a mic out and put it out, and all you can hear is the kids singing. And it was just like that was a pretty crazy show for me. I think that would probably be my favorite. I mean, there was some on tour that were really cool. I mean, I played a show in front of the label.
That you're with currently?
Yeah, in Florida. That was cool, but like, I think that was the one. I did another festival in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
I went there, and they do this really cool thing. I forget what it's called, but it's a festival, and basically the whole city opens up, and every bar has live music, and there's a fuckload of bars.
Mm-hmm.
And basically you pay one amount of money to the city, and then you get access to every single bar to see whatever bands that are playing. So I went
Kind of like Warped Tour.
yeah, but like with bars and shit, it was like super cool. So I went there and I played one show, and then some dude like saw me on stage or something and was like, "Yo, the band that's supposed to be playing down the street isn't coming. Like, you want to come over there?" So I was like, "Okay." I packed up my shit, ran over there, played another set. I played like a handful of sets in 2 days.
Nice.
It was cool.
Yeah.
That was like a really, really fun time. Yeah.
Has your what is your girlfriend's name?
Heather.
Heather. Has she been able to see you perform yet?
She has, yeah. I actually met her on tour.
Oh, no kidding. That's a cool story.
Yeah. I was on tour with Roseview and Perfect Limbs, and we're in Canada, and we're playing like the big show of that tour. Like it was Perfect Limbs. Like I think it was like maybe like a video thing or just a homecoming. I don't know what it was, but there was a shitload of people there. So that show was fire, and I went downstairs, and she was there with her friends. They weren't there for the show. They were just there for some drinks and food because they sold drinks and shit downstairs. So I walked down there, and I was like, made eye contact, kept looking at each other. Finally, I go over. I was like,
"You're literally blushing."
I'm blushing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, so
How long you guys been together now?
Shit. I mean, officially, we've been together for 10 months, but we've been talking since September of last year.
So I want to circle back around to her, because obviously that's a big part of your life. But before we do that, so we know my favorite show of yours, a couple of your favorite shows. What is either one of the craziest shows or some of the craziest shit that you've seen on the road?
I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy shit. I've seen a lot more crazy shit when I was partying. Obviously, that was a whole different. Oh man. So, all right, I'll go back to Falling Skyward.
Oh, don't open that one. Happens every time.
I'm gonna go back to Falling Skyward.
Okay.
That summer tour, it was everyone that was in the band, and then we had
Chris Butts.
Yep, we had
R.I.P.
Chris Butt, R.I.P. My homie. He was there, and Tom was with us.
Oh yeah.
We played this show in where were we? I think North Carolina, maybe. Dude, it was like a house show.
Yeah.
We were outside on the lawn. People were like fucking lit, and I was like, all right, this is like kind of crazy. And then a dog comes running and like attacks his chicken or whatever. I was like, whatever. We're in the middle of the woods. Like, I don't care.
Was that a dog or a wolf?
I don't know. But then some fucking guy, I don't know who he was, picks up the chicken. He's like, oh, the chicken's hurt. Rips its head off. And I was like, bro, where the fuck are we?
Bare hands?
Bare hands.
Oh, my God.
Ripped his fucking head off. And we're all just like, yo, what the fuck? And then Chris Butt was like, wow, no. He took the chicken and threw it on the grill or something like that. I can't remember. But that night, after our set is really when the party started.
Sure.
And everyone was hammered. At this point, I mean, Chris Butt had probably been fucking drunk since...
Like 38 days?
Yeah. It was like crazy. Like that. We partied super hard back then. But he decided to light off a bottle rocket out of his ass.
Oh, okay.
So he stuck a bottle rocket in his ass. And I was like, all right, cool. Well...
You lit it?
I don't remember if I lit it or if someone else lit it.
Your hand went straight to lighter mode, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Freudian thing going on there.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I can't really remember. But the bottle rocket was lit somehow. There's a video of it somewhere, actually. I could probably find it. But the bottle rocket gets lit. His ass clenches. That bottle rocket doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, no.
And he didn't just like stick it in his like cheek so it'd shoot out.
Sure.
He stuck
Straight
it in
hole.
his ass, dude.
All
So it was
right.
like that bottle rocket was stuck. That shit shot out, and he's rolling around, dude. It's burning him. He spent the rest of the tour like sitting not on his ass because it was burnt, dude. Like that was probably one of the craziest times. Not from our set, just like the night was
Yeah.
just insane.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know.
So, circling back to, I know when we first talked about this episode, I get very overzealous with things. Like, I thought about having a podcast, and I was like, okay, I'm immediately Joe Rogan already in my mind. I have to humble myself to realize things. But when we talked about the episode, I was like, dude, like, let's do an episode. You know, we'll talk about fucking everything, and we'll try to turn it into a fundraiser for you. Obviously, that's not going to happen. This is going to reach like 100 people. But, you know, she lives up there, and a huge time portion of your guys' relationship has been lockdown, you know, and whether or not you can cross state lines, you're definitely not crossing fucking country lines, borders. You're definitely you're not crossing borders.
Goddamn country lines.
Yeah. So, you know, you've been in the U.S., she's been in Canada. And, you know, I'm sure that's been a struggle. I mean, any long-distance relationship is difficult, whether it's a friendship or a relationship or your sister, your mother, your father, whatever. And you've experienced a ton of that in your life, obviously, with all the times that you moved and toured and everything like that. You know, some of my family only lives an hour away, and I've not seen them in years.
Yeah.
You know, some of my family lives in different countries, and I've seen them more recently, you know, whatever. And, you know, there's been... really recently, you know, the countries have been talking and they're like, you know, if somebody can come over here and afford to quarantine in a hotel for like multiple weeks, then, you know, we can let them kind of intermingle with our citizens. Like, what is that? I mean, that's got to be such a surreal feeling to have a relationship with somebody that there's a literal fucking law that says you guys can't see each other. Like, I mean, what can you say about that?
Dude, I don't even know, man. It's like, it's crazy. It doesn't even feel real. Like, I could go there and see her, but in order to do that, I have to quarantine for 2 weeks. But, I mean, obviously, she could quarantine with me, and we could just stay inside and just watch movies and shit. Like, yeah. Basically. For, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is sick. Yeah, that sounds great. But she has a child. I can't keep her away from her child
For that, yeah.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just not fair.
I didn't know she had a kid.
Yeah,
A boy or a girl?
girl,
Oh, shit. How old?
5.
Oh, cool. It's like
Yeah.
Rowan's age.
Yep.
Very cool.
So, I mean, obviously, I can't keep her from
Right.
her kids. So, I mean, if I did that, I would have to quarantine for 2 weeks, and then if I wanted to hang out with her and her family for a week, that's 3 weeks, and then when I come home, that's another 2 weeks of quarantine.
Yeah.
So that's like a month and a half if I just want to go there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually in talks right now about changing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, because we have more rapid testing available. You know, like, what if there was a test on our side of the border and a test on their side of the border, 2 negative tests? Say you had to do it in 12 hours, you know, like you tested here at 9 a.m., had to sit in your car at the border and then test there at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I feel like that would work. Something like that.
That's what they're talking about because the Portland Maine Airport just put in a rapid like test center thing. So like I could go there, get my results in like 20 minutes or hour. It's some short ass time like that. We pay like $25 to do it, but you get it in a very short amount of time. You get on the plane, you fly there, you get off the plane before you leave the airport, you test again. If you're negative, you can stay there. If not, obviously, probably, I don't know what the fuck they would do.
Kill you.
Probably.
It's execution now.
Yeah.
Positive test result in immediately because you're done. You know, it's like AIDS. It's a death sentence. I'm just kidding. None of that's true. AIDS is not a death sentence. That's fucking wild. at least that's a little more of or a little less of an expensive option than, of the one that we currently have.
Right. Yeah.
Current option.
So, I mean, that's if they lift it. Like they're like almost back down to lockdown where she's at.
Yeah.
Very close.
Dude,
to
so
that.
are we.
And we're very close. Like,
which sucks because Maine did so well. We were one of the top 3 states in the country for limited infection. We had like 12 a day forever. And now we're like, dude, we're vaulting past, hundreds a day in the fucking country. I think this morning I read it was like 160 million. That's a lot. Is there even that many people in the country?
Dude, I don't even know what it said. I know when I checked it this morning, it said something like we got like 180,000 new people
in a day.
In one day, like some crazy fucking number like that. It's like, how is that even?
1 week ago, it was wild that we broke 100,000, and now a week later, we're like, yeah, the fucking 200's right there, buddy. Like
doubling it.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, so that's just crazy. But so I probably won't see her for a minute, but it's already been 10 months.
10 months.
Yeah,
that's a long time. That's almost as old as my youngest child.
Yeah,
Lennox is like 16 months.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy. So what do you got coming out? Is there anything that we should be looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple songs for Bitter Bones like in the vault for a minute. I'll be releasing, but I mean by the time this comes out, it'll probably be out, honestly. But
I'll link it in the description.
Yeah,
link below.
It'll be my first release since I've been on the label by myself.
No shit.
So I'm releasing it myself, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I got a couple singles that I'm gonna do that with, and then yeah.
How many songs on this one?
I'm just releasing 2 singles.
Oh, okay.
Right
Oh,
now.
okay. So the thing to look forward to, the 2 singles coming up.
Yeah.
Which are your first? Okay, I got
it. There will be more too, but
yeah,
those 2 are the ones that I'm gonna push.
Do you have a projected date right now?
No.
Okay.
I haven't really decided because I'm doing a music video.
Nice. This will be your 3rd music video? Because you did the one... 4th, okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be my 4th video, but there's some things that are pending on that right now, like location things that I'm working on. So
yeah.
Once I have that in my hand, I'm not going to put a date on it until I have the actual video.
Cut, yeah.
Because I don't want to... I've been down that road before. So
yeah, no doubt. Well, man, super happy we got together.
Oh,
it's been cool. The little bit of time we got to catch up before this, and honestly, just some memory lane stuff was awesome. I appreciate you supporting me and being here.
Yeah, for sure.
Talking about what you got going on.
Yeah,
it's been a lot of fun. I would like you to plug your social medias, because I know you've got your photography as well as your music, and I don't know if you want to plug your personal, but any ats that you have that you want to talk about, man, just lay them out there.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing for me would be to follow my Spotify if you don't already. Just type in Bitter Bones. It should be one of the first artists that come out. I'm the only verified Bitter Bones, so
Got that blue check?
yeah. Follow that. Follow my Instagram at Bitter Bones Music. From there, if you want to see my photography, it's all linked in. So, Bitter Bones Music. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Again, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.